Yo, welcome guys. Thank you very much for hanging out in the Pokemon Unite Coronation League. We are definitely going to be starting soon. But first, we're going to go ahead and do the highlights of your Week 5 Pokemon Unite teams. And I can only be excited to just say that we are halfway through the season and I can't wait to get to this finals. So hang out, chill out, watch the highlights and chill. And I'll see you guys in a second. Let's get it. Hello? Hold on, chat. Hold on, chat. We getting it, chat.
That's gonna happen to you.
There it
100% as an Electro Ball takes down the side of that Bulbasaur, but they return the favor and take down that Glossopher.
That's a sure hit, no skill required for that one. Just target, point, and click. Good job all the time. And Tech was struggling, especially at the beginning of the game, but the quad kill is exactly what the doctor ordered. As we're seeing another team fight actually going in, a couple of trampolines are going to be continuing to knock everybody up to the side. They kill the Cinderace, they kill the Garchomp.
It was absolutely amazing. Definitely did a lot of work. Solo probably going to go down here against Abito. Abito is trying to work hard as a Blissey Unite comes through. Can they get the kill on Dispensa? And it looks like yes they do, as Gardevoir gets a double kill off of that.
And they are so good
with their side shot.
A tremendous amount of zoning from that Clefable. He was able to go in, gravity, and all of our orange team was not able to really get effectively in on the objective, and they're able to secure it pretty handily. We're seeing here that this bottom objective only
Skungle 69 with the secure on the Registeel, which again, one of the best buffs you can get from the bot lane here. And it looks like they're going to be pushing this goal. Right now, Lucario going through the jungle, taking the jungle of Team Aura Esports. And they are pushing this goal very hard. It's 2v5.
But it just gets destroyed as Chunty's getting that huge Unite Blissey ult, and it gets everything. And there goes the Garchomp Unite as well, as they just cleaned up. Hashtag Team Drip for all three players that were up there.
They do a little
is zoning out the Dodrio. However, Bloomer chased into a corner, pinched between both sides of their team. Big ult from the Snorlax community right there, but unfortunately it's not enough to keep him alive. Dark Aura is going to take this team fight here and take the Registeel. Registeel's
only a 4 break. I want to say it was only an overcap of 4 for all that work. All they had was an overcap of 4, and that is not good, as there is 1 kill, and then here goes another double kill by Dispensa. Mistake again. He's like, I'm gonna fight you on your pad, and I'm gonna kill you, as I have Schizo right behind him with my arrows, but he does go down as Reza comes in, and so does Roy McBean, as that is a 3-man down for the side of hashtag Team Drip.
Yeah, they seem to be sick and tired.
A team Unsung Heroes, and they just come out of nowhere and they wipe him. It looks like that E-Speed Lucario just absolutely doing huge damage here with a 3 KO streak. He's trying to go for the Penta. Can he get the Penta? No, the Eldegoss steals it from him. And they go ahead and a ton of support here, but they are healing off of the base. They're going to go ahead and retreat a little bit while this top lane fight goes down for the Regieleki. And a big gravity comes out from the Clefable, stopping the Lucario E-Speed, but the Lucario uses its Unite move and takes out 2 right there. A huge KO.
As Crustle goes down, as the Mix Mads got a double kill. Go ahead and follow them for a second, as we're going to go ahead and record that. It's not gonna let me. Wonderful.
Being too, just securing everything that goes in their way. So when you have stored power and future sight, you're sacrificing a lot of the last hitting that Espeon is really good at, as we're seeing it right now, just securing every type of Pokemon and
like
just
what they're trying to do, like what they're trying to change. It's just I don't really understand the pick, as Pikachu goes down, and I expect the Crustle to go down as well, as Mamoswine got a double kill.
Yeah, it's definitely important to get that Piloswine going.
Unite move from Real Joss right there, but a counter Unite move from Get Yoshi right near that goal, trying to get the last minute picks. And Get Yoshi is moving away from that Tyranitar. He gets out with 1 HP left. Bridget trying to base, going down to the opening to the back line, but decides he's gonna. There comes the opening. There comes the opening. He's gonna pressure on the Decidueye. No, he comes back into the fight, and it looks like Get Yoshi with a big Unite move. Get Yoshi goes down. Real Jess takes out 2 of Dark Aura. A fight breaking down in the bot lane. It looks like they are just going to rip this while Yoshi's trying to get his Unite move. And he does get his Unite move. Huge damage going on to Bridget. And Bridget goes down. The Registeel is healing as the fight's going on, but Rat Cube goes down by huge Scald. Palmer following up on Get Yoshi. Huge Scald in a
Quadra. Let's see what's going to happen now. Zayon trying his best and not going to be able to hit that Penta. But this is the problem. Team Drip finds those engages and just floors it whenever they have the opportunity. Everybody was kung fu fighting.
Yeah, baby.
Doing a really good job too, trying to get those engages, but the team fight is actually a little lackluster on that one side. Now Tech actually doing a good job returning the favor on the side of Tech too. Oh my god, kills left and right.
Nobody. Ult's coming out everywhere. The Venusaur Unite is absolutely huge. Is able to hit most of Team Aura Esports, and we're starting to see Team Esports players go down. We've got the Glaceon and the Wigglytuff down. Huge block from Snorlax here. The Cinderace is just absolutely cleaning up at this point. Just pressing.
That's gonna happen to you 100% as an Electro Ball takes down the side of that Bulbasaur, but they return the favor and take down that Colossal.
That's a sure hit. No skill required for that one. Just target, point, and click. Good job all the time. And Tech was struggling, especially at the beginning of the game, but the quad kill is exactly what they doctored.
Yo, thank you guys very much for hanging out. This is your Pokemon Unite Coronation League Week 5 analysis recap going into week number 6 this week, and I'm super excited to announce all the new stuff that we have. Obviously, we have new webcam borders for single broadcasters and double broadcasters as well. As you guys saw last week, we are leveling up every single week, and last week we had replays, instant replays during our matches, and I can't just stress enough that I am trying my hardest to make it better as a viewer for you guys, and also make it better for our league players as well. A couple of things to note, as we have noticed some things on the side of the standings as far as the teams go. It's been very one-sided on for the side of like the Rayquaza side versus the side of the Zapdos. So we have talked about it to all the captains and have kind of changed up of what the tournament bracket is going to look like. It's super, I wouldn't say like different from what we are doing or from what we were doing. The only thing that we aren't doing is the way that the seeding works afterwards. It's not going to be technically Zapdos side versus the Rayquaza side. It's more or less going to actually be seeding as far as the winner of Rayquaza and the winner of Zapdos do get the number 1 or it get like basically game 4. Like they don't have to go through any other of the placements. So the placements of the tournament will now be like null and void for the top teams on the side of Zapdos and on the side of Rayquaza. I'll have a further breakdown as far as what the tournament bracket is going to look like, as I am trying to make the graphic for it. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that for next week on the week 6 analysis going into week 7. The biggest thing to note is obviously the standing side, and like I said, it's kind of been one-sided on each. So we're going to go ahead and look at the standings of the Zapdos League. The Zapdos League having War of Legion at 4-1, Wasted Potential being 3-2, Team Aura Esports being 1-4, Unsung Heroes being 2-3, Magic Card Clan also being 1-4, and Elite Force being 0-4. So as you guys can see on the Zapdos side, it's very, very conjoined. These teams are very, very well evened out as far as like the standings go. And it's definitely great to see. Now on the side of Rayquaza, we have hashtag Dream Team Drip at 4-1, Jungle Greasers being 5-0, oh gosh, I'm going to really butcher the heck out of this name. Ikigai no Sarugi. I want to really I know it, but I don't, and it's hard. Them being at 5-0, Dark Aura being 4-1, Super Squirtle Squad being 0-5, and Team Rocketo being 1-3. Team Rocketo is 1-3, and so is the side of the Zapdos as well. I want to say it's Elite Force, so it's Elite Force and Team Rocketo. They both owe a game, and they are going to have their game this Friday night after all the matches are done. They had some contingencies between them each other as far as trying to start their match or trying to get their match started, as some people were sick on the side of Elite Force. So they went ahead and moved their game and opted to move their game into this Friday night after all games are done. So their ranking right now is obviously 1-3. They're going to stay there until the factor of that match is resolved. Now, with that said, the side of Rayquaza, the way that, the rankings have gone to the side of Zapdos, it's very one-sided. So we have decided to go ahead and change up the way that the tournament bracket scene looks. Again, I will get the graphic made here pretty soon and make sure that you guys see it hand on hand exactly what it's supposed to look like. And then I'll explain further as far as how it's going to work out going into the finals of that playoffs, which I'm super excited because I kind of already actually know how we're going to work out the way that the games are played. And I will say the top two teams from the side of Zapdos, so right now, it would be War Legion and either War Legion or Jungle Griefers or Ikigai no Sarugi, being if one of them have a game loss as far as going into too many game threes, or if they don't have anything, then we'll end up having to have them play a playoff round early to determine who is the number one seeding for the Rayquaza side. So, but with that said, we'll just say Jungle Griefers is number 1 and War Legion is number 1. Then that means that they will both be playing the following week. So the first week we'll have 3 games on Thursday, 3 games on Friday, and then the following week we're going to have basically Thursday being the probably the A bracket side, and then Friday be the B bracket side. Or actually, no, I think because they're going to go into best of 5s, we might be able to play 2 one night. I'm going to have to figure out that scheduling, but either way, they both are not playing until the following week of that tournament. So even though you get that first week bye, you could be on a, a cooldown as far as playing games from the weeklies that we've been doing. So when you have that full week off, yes, you get to to look at your competitors of what they've been doing, but you also might have a chance of just being rusty and not having that week of play. So with that said, I am going to go ahead and show off a couple of things that I've been working on. As far as basically everything you guys see here, the graphics moving and stuff like that, having some animations as far as the broadcast side, and we also have it on the broadcast side of number 2 as well. We did get rid of the Charmeleon, unfortunately, as we'll be talking about that on Thursday, or actually Friday, because I will not be here tomorrow night. Unfortunately, we will be having Striker being here tomorrow night and doing all the production as well. So might be a little bit of a longer night, but he will get used to it. He'll be fine. I believe in him. That's why I have him as my right hand man for it. Along with Chopper also being your caster as well for tomorrow. But yeah, we have some things, obviously we're working on it. I'm trying to make this as much as possible to ease you guys as far as viewers and to make it a little bit cooler. As we want to go ahead and try to go into more. Again, I've been working really hard, been trying to get this stuff going and to make it more feasible for y'all, and I'm going to go ahead and show you the Unite side of it as far as what you guys see in the actual gameplay when we are playing the game. So we have also a little bit of animations, not too much to where it hinders y'all's view, but this is a good scene to kind of watch, like, little things. If if there's a little downtime going through games and stuff like that, you can at least kind of appeal your eyes and see some things. I wanted this. I feel like it was kind of cool. If we do not want it, I can go ahead and take it off as well, as I have both. With that said, we are going to go ahead and go into our versus screen as we have week number 1, game 1. We have Aurora Esports. Hold on one second, chat. Why? Oh gosh. There it goes. Okay. Aurora Esports versus Ikigai no Tsurugi. Aurora Esports being 1-4. Ikigai no Tsurugi being 5-0. I expect this match to be very good on the side of probably Ikigai no Tsurugi. They've been very dominant as of late. So I can only imagine what kind of dominant games they're already going to be playing and what they're going to be doing. So it's kind of interesting and possibly easy to see. Hold on one second. Trying to figure out a couple of things here. Just trying to get the looping system of the versus screen to act correctly here. There it goes. I believe it's good. So yes, we have Aurora Esports. Again, Aurora Esports has been giving a lot of the top teams some bigger things to look at as far as rotations and stuff like that. They've been very movement. They can definitely keep you on your heels, which is what I'm excited to see. The only thing I want to see is better picks as far as, and also a little bit of bans, but again, they are brand new to the competitive scene, so hopefully they can keep adapting as what they've been doing since week 1 and showing this different side of them. Again, I'm excited to see both of these teams play each other. We do have Ikigai no Tsurugi at 5-0, Aurora Esports 1-4, and that will be your game number 1 on Thursday night, as we're going to go ahead and go into game number 2. Game number 2, we have hashtag Team Drip versus Unsung Heroes, and that records are definitely wrong. Yeah, I'm gonna have to change that, as I don't think I actually have. No, I do not. Okay, that is my fault. Okay, Chad. Yep, this is my fault. So, but we do have hashtag Team Drip versus Unsung Heroes. This is going to be an exciting match. Again, hashtag Team Drip being 4-1, not 1-4, and Unsung Heroes being, I believe, 1-4. Unsung Heroes is 2-3. My bad. I'm so sorry. They are actually 2-3, which is very exciting for them. Um, so with that, it's kind of exciting to see them go up against hashtag Team Drip and see how they can dominate themselves against the bigger top teams. As Team Drip is coming off of a week 1 loss. No, it wasn't a dominant loss, but it was a tough loss against War Legion Esports, where they did go into a best of 3 and they went all the way to game 3. So with that being said, I'm excited to see Unsung Heroes, but for Unsung Heroes, it really again, it goes to the picks and bans, trying to opt to take this Eldegoss over other healing components and other better defender supporters. It's kind of interesting to see some of these other teams and not opting to also, start playing Dodrio for themselves, start playing Sableye for themselves, as there are other picks and bans. Try to have that more in your Pokemon pool to try to play, with those tougher Pokemon, to give, your team a better insight. I would definitely look at the picks and bans against Team Drip. There are a couple players on Team Drip that you can definitely ban against, as I have seen, from week 1, just watching them play here, period. Not even off screen or anything like that, and watching them play other things. There's just a couple players that are on the hashtag Team Drip that aren't as dominant in other Pokemon pools as they have been in the game since week 1. So if you can output them as far as picks and bans, you can kind of dominate yourself in a possible win against hashtag Team Drip, as again, they have gone off of a loss. So this is going to be a bounce back week, hopefully, maybe, for hashtag Team Drip. But Unsung Heroes is also, they're on a 2-game winning streak right now. They came in week 3. They came in week 3 with an 0-2 start. They lost the first week, getting their fill-ins and trying to figure things out and how the picks and bans go. But they are in a 2-game winning streak right now. So it's going to be exciting to see them move on, as we're going to go ahead and go into game number 3. You have Dark Aura versus Jungle Griefers. Jungle Griefers is definitely 5-0. As Dark Aura is not 1-4. Again, I will have to fix those. It'd be my fault and my bad, as Dark Aura is actually, I believe, they are 4-1. So it's flip-flopped. Dark Aura being 4-1, Jungle Griefers being 5-0. It's going to be extremely, you know what, I'm just going to hide those just so that way we don't get those mixed up, to be honest. With the side of Jungle Griefers being 5-0, and Dark Aura being 4-1, this is going to be a big match. This is the end of your night on a Thursday night, so it's going to be kind of exciting to see really how well Dark Aura can handle against top teams. They kind of did go 0-2 versus, I believe it was Kakuta Matata week 2. Let me double check. I'm just calculating my schedules here. Yes, it was week 3. Week 3. It was week 2. Yes, Dark Aura versus Kakuta Matata week 2. On that week, it was actually it was week 3. Week 3. Jesus, I know it's so far. So week 3, Dark Aura went 0-2 against Kakuta Matata. Technically during that time, I expect to possibly make this a best of 3 for Dark Aura versus Jungle Griefers. It's going to be interesting play against them, as they have played against each other multiple times before, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. But Jungle Griefers been very well and very good as of late. Dark Aura being, very dominant with their Dodrio pick. And pretty much they've been kind of dominant as of late. since that 0-2 start. And not 0-2, they were 2-0, and then they went to 2-1. But with that 2-1, it kind of put something into them, and they've been on a winning streak since then. So it's gonna this match I expected to go to a best of 3 possibly. Their secures on Zapdos haven't been the greatest either. And it's going to be weird to see how well they can bounce back against this Jungle Griefer. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and go into game number 4 as... Come on, game number 4. Thank you. Super Squirtle Squad versus EXP Elite Force. Both of them have something to play for here. Again, EXP Elite Force is 0-4. Super Squirtle Squad being 0-5. Again, Elite Force is also going to have a later game that night as well. So if they can get a win from the Super Squirtle Squad, they can dominate themselves into possibly being in a running for the tournament overall. But they have to basically get a win in this game and then get a win in the later game as themselves and come off of this week being a double winner. It's going to be very interesting to see from both of these sides. It's the picks that have been not upsetting. It's the picks from the side of EXP Elite Force that we are prioritizing than other picks that they can be prioritizing, if that makes a lot of sense. From the side of Super Squirtle Squad, they're very different. They love the way that they play, very dominant in the way that they play. They put 5-man bottom, or they put 5-man top, or 4-man top, I should say, or 4-man bottom. They roam, they do team fights together. It's their mid game that really crushes them more than anything, because they're so they push themselves so much in one of those lanes, but then they fall back in the mid game by not being pushed up even more, because once they lose a fight over on top of a from the opposite side, they try to fight on their pads. When they fight on those pads, they get dominated from the other team, and in that factor, you don't want to try to overexert yourself with that. If you're already dominating one side of the lane, dominate that lane even more and try to exert them to where now they have to put all of their top players down bottom, and then you can go to the top and start dominating your top lane or dominating your bottom lane, whichever one you end up taking first. You want to go the other side second. And if you can do that and do it efficiently and start taking their jungle afterwards and start doing more things differently, and exerting your dominance as you've been doing instead of letting them catch back up in XP, I think that's like the biggest thing. You got to have those timers in your head when the Swablu's and Alterias are popping up, to where then you can easily jump into those Swablu's and Alterias. So like as soon as you take them at the 740, or not 740, 850 mark, as soon as you take them out at that time, you already know they're popping up back again, I believe at 810, or is it 720? I think it's like 2 minutes 20 seconds, right? Yes, no, I have to remember that. So when they pop up again, you have to have that timer in your head going, okay, we got to be there. Let's have all 4 members there. Literally, you take all 4 members and meet them at that spot, take those away from them, suffocate them even more from XP, and then you move on to the rest of the rest of the map, and just start having those timers in your head of going, okay, well, let's get our jungle so that way they're not taking it from the top side, because top side is moving into their jungle now and taking their jungle away from them, so that's even more XP that they are losing. They have such a dominant beginning. It's that middle game that hurts them, and then once they get to the end game, they're the same levels as them, and now it comes down to team fights, which they do need to clean up their team fight, but their team fight is still really good with each other. I just they just got to clean it up just a tad. But on the side of the Elite Force, they have really good team fighting. Their early game and secures need to be better. But like their mid game and late game are good because they get caught up in XP, hence the name EXP. They get caught up in those, but it's that factor again with the early game. If you can dominate that early game as securing your own farm and securing, you know, the mutual farm, you can easily bounce back in some of the games that they've been playing. Again, I'm sorry, chat, and I'm sorry, teams. I've been studying y'all since week 1. I've watched every single one of y'all's matches over and over and over again just to get highlights and clips. So I've noticed a lot of things from all the teams, technically. And I'm just giving you guys insight of how to possibly I'm just doing analysis. I'm not saying you have to do this, but you might see it as yourself if you watch your games back over as well. But again, not to further go into both of these teams, as I love both of these teams. I love the way that they've been playing and joining the league and everything. I just want them to better themselves as players, as I know they can. And see them grow as teams, as they seem like they have a lot of potential. As we're gonna go ahead and go into game number 5. What in the world's going on? There you go. Team Rocketo versus Wasted Potential. Team Rocketo, dominant games that they've played. Waste Potential having that early game, yes. Mid game, well, actually, early game they don't secure very well. So their top lane does very, I don't know. I guess it's off and on. It isn't every game, but it's off and on for the side of Waste Potential. I know a lot of their mid game kind of suffers a little bit. Their late game, their team fights are so good. They get the Rayquazas. It's not a whole lot of Pokemon are surviving once we get Rayquaza. I think is not the bigger issue, but I guess it's the issue of them being great. From the side of Team Rocketo, you obviously have really good team fights. The early game secures need to be cleaned up a little bit. Your bottom lane does amazing. Your top lane kind of just struggles a little bit until your jungler gets there. That just comes down to securing a farm. If anything, just take your own farm and not worry about trying to go and get stacks. You can get stacks later. There's a lot of things from different sides. It's going to be a really, really even match. I expect this to possibly go into a game 3 on Friday. So I'm excited to see this. Yeah, I really don't have much for both of these teams. I like both of these teams. Picks and bans for the side of Waste Potential is very, very good. For the side of Team Rocketo, they kind of struggle a little bit as they a lot of the PR teams, the Puerto Rican teams, they do get a lot of the Eldegosses, and Eldegoss to me is just not a better pick than you can get from a Sableye pick or from a Mammo pick, Slowbro. I just feel like there's better, I wouldn't say even supporters. I just feel like, well, yeah, there is better supporters than Eldegoss in my book. I am an Eldegoss hater, yes, but I know that there's better picks than Eldegoss being more. So that's just my opinion. But with that said, love both of these teams. Both of these teams played very well, played very good. It's all going to come down to the Ray. It's all going to come down to the Ray fight on this game. Waste Potential can come out swinging hard as they have been, or they have done before, and they also have been taking a lot of these top teams to game 3s, as Team Rocketo has not. So it could be one-sided, but it could also come down to the Rayquaza fight. So it's only going to be interesting to see these two teams, as we're going to go ahead and go into game number 6. There it goes. War Legion Esports versus Magikarp Clan. These two have faced against each other for a long time. I believe they also faced against each other week 1. in the schedule. Let me double check. Yes, they did play week 1. So this is going to be a bounce back for Magikarp Clan. Unfortunately, Magikarp Clan has such a hard matchups in the schedule. So it's going to be interesting to see that overall. But I would say that Magikarp Clan versus War Legion is going to be interesting and interesting enough, to say the least, as Magikarp Clan will have and could have a dominant game against War Legion if they notice some of the things that War Legion does. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. War Legion has some things that they do have to clean up, as well as they came off of another weak loss. But it wasn't a bad week. Oh no, they won. Didn't they win? I thought they won. Hold on, double checking. 1 second. I want to say that they won, but don't want to say that they won. They did win. They did win against hashtag Team Drip, but they took them to a game 3, as the week before they played Jungle Griefers and went an 0-2. So it's War Legion has some things that I know that they can work on entirely as far as players. And there's a couple secure things that they can do. If they're going to dominate one lane, they have to dominate the other, but you could dominate the other at a later time and later point. Again, this is me studying you guys since week 1. I pretty much know the ins and outs of a lot of these teams. It's just from me watching y'all's gameplay over and over and over because of me getting highlights and stuff. So there's certain things that War Legion does if Magikarp Clan can catch on to those. If they do their home, like each and every one of these teams have access to go to back and watch all of the games. And it's interesting to me to not have a coach on y'all's side or just somebody that can go and watch back footage and notice what some of these teams are doing, because you can easily nitpick and then start doing things differently when you face against teams like that. And start studying. Like this kind of comes down to a studying point, because then you can easily start realizing what War Legion does, start realizing what Magikarp does, and beat them at it. And then you can also see what yourself is doing to further your gameplay on it. So like there's a lot of things that come down when you do analysis and stuff, and that's why there's a lot I talk about for each and every one of the teams. But that's just me. Nothing against everybody or nothing against any of the players, as you guys are amazing players. There's just obviously certain things that you guys could work on and then become the top 8. Like literally, I have top 8 teams in this league that can easily make it to be top 8 teams in NA. Like it's actually amazing to see. In hopes that we do see that later on. Now, with that said, let's go ahead and go into your player of the week.
They're poking at him and zoning him pretty well. Green ET able to block that Mamoswine out to the side.
And let's see if you guys go ahead and notice who our player of the week is.
And forces that Decidueye, Bloomer, the Decidueye, back into the Mamoswine, and then they go Dark Aura playing down in the bot lane. They don't really care about this Regieleki so much. They want to get turning on this bot lane. We only have 30 seconds to Rayquaza with only 1 goal down, but the team with 1 goal down is actually in the lead. Malinaki with a huge pick on Real Josh right there, and then Bloomer goes down as well. 2 KOs block. He's able to make it back to the base. In the meantime, Bloomer gets caught out by the flanking Dodrio. We've got a whole huge team fight here. Oh no, we're frozen. All right, huge Mime ult coming off from right there, and we see players go down on both sides. Green ET goes down, 3 down for wasted potential, and Malinaki able to steal the Rayquaza right there. Huge damage to Slowbro, and 5 down on the side of wasted potential. I would not be surprised to see a surrender vote coming up pretty soon. Malinaki putting in the 50 dunks. Back of the head there, he goes down for the KO. Palmer going ahead and putting huge damage on that Dodrio. And Dodrio comes back, but Pikachu, Real Jess, able to stop that. Malinaki just causing mayhem in the back line, taking out the Pikachu afterward. They don't really get a whole ton of value off of that Registeel. Getting a little bit of pressure with those Spirit Shackles. They're able to get that gold down to 1 in the top lane. Malinaki trying to fight Green ET off, but Green ET just wants that gold gone over a cap of 6. Real Jess wearing down this Regieleki, just trying to get it down, and is zoning out the Dodrio. However, Bloomer chased into a corner, pinched between both sides of their team. Big ult from the Snorlax ET right there, but unfortunately.
There you have it as your Unite War Coordination League Player of the Week 5. Malinaki, your Player of the Week, voted by you as fans of the league. Make sure you go and follow them on their handle, as they are at Twitter at Malinaki. Very amazing player. Great to talk to them, as well as I was actually asking them if I can get some insight and some definite good plays on their Dodrio, as their Dodrio is just dominant and have been dominant for a couple weeks now. And that's just not the only Pokemon that they play, period. They played Lucario before, they played other Pokemon before, as well throughout the entire league. So with this, I'm very excited to announce that Malinaki as your Player of the Week, and I hope to see you out on the battlefield, as I will be there with my own Dodrio, as you have taught the teacher, and the teacher is now going to teach you. So I'm very, very excited to see how I now can play my own Dodrio and get that going as well. But thank you guys very much for voting for your Player of the Week. Malinaki, your Player of the Week. And again, we're going to go ahead and go with the video.
They're poking at him and zoning him pretty well. Green ET able to block that Mamoswine out to the side. They're putting a lot of pressure here in the back line. Malinaki goes ahead and forces that Decidueye, Bloomer, the Decidueye, back into the Mamoswine, and then they go Dark Aura playing down in the bot lane. They don't really care about this Regieleki so much. They want to get turning on this bot lane. We only have 30 seconds to Rayquaza with only 1 goal down, but the team with 1 goal down is actually in the lead. Malinaki with a huge pick on Real Jeff right there, and then Bloomer goes down as well. 2 KOs block. He's able to make it back to the base. In the meantime, Bloomer gets caught out by the flanking Dodrio. We've got a whole huge team fight here. Oh no, we're frozen. All right, huge Mime ult coming off from right there, and we see players go down on both sides. Green ET goes down, 3 down for wasted potential, and Malinaki able to steal the Rayquaza right there. Huge damage to Slowbro, and 5 down on the side of wasted potential. I would not be surprised to see a surrender vote coming up pretty soon. Malinaki putting in the 50 dunks. Back of the head there, he goes down for the KO. Palmer going ahead and putting huge damage on that Dodrio. And Dodrio comes back, but Pikachu, Real Jess, able to stop that. Malinaki just causing mayhem in the back line, taking out the Pikachu afterward. They don't really get a whole ton of value off of that Registeel. Getting a little bit of pressure with those Spirit Shackles. They're able to get that gold down to 1 in the top lane. Malinaki trying to fight Green ET off, but Green ET just wants that gold gone over a cap of 6. Real Jess wearing down this Regieleki, just trying to get it down, and is zoning out the Dodrio. However, Bloomer chased into a corner, pinched between both sides of their team. Big ult from the Snorlax ET right there, but unfortunately, they're poking at him and zoning him pretty well.
Again, that is your Player of the Week, Malinaki. Thank you very much for voting for him, as we're going to get into myself. Thank you guys very much for watching week 6, or week 5 recap. Going into week 6, some exciting matches going forward for this week. Thursday night being an exciting match. Well, I would say every match is always exciting. It's the best of 3s that we know that's going to happen. Thursday night should be a best of 3. Friday night should be a best of 3. Friday during the day should also be a best of 3. Friday night after all the matches will also be most likely a best of 3, as EXP Elite Force will be facing against Team Rocketo. There's a lot of different teams, so I'm very, very excited for all of those. Again, just going to go ahead and show off some of the stuff that we have been working on in the background, as we have some animation stuff that we have been doing, and I'm very excited to announce that I have gotten that done and gotten some of the stuff cool. And then there is your standings for the Zapdos side. Again, we do have a brand new tournament bracket. That tournament bracket will be announced and probably put out on Friday, to be honest. So I'm going to probably work on that starting today, to kind of show you how that's going to run once we get to tournament time, which will be after week 10. So we're already halfway there. There is your Rayquaza side. And again, I'm your boy Rhino Gaming. This is your Pokemon Unite Coronation League, #1 league in NA, as I would like to say. I haven't seen not one really close or even been live broadcasted, as well as all the games being live broadcasted. We broadcast every Thursday and Friday night, so make sure you guys come and check it out. That'd be amazing. As I will see you guys on